So I'll be talking about why we should start thinking about our pensions this early in our lives. Let's take a look at these three happy fellows, and I imagine myself, Luke, and Adam actually being these three guys sitting in the south of France on a bench, enjoying the sunset after living a highly successful life and making the LeadPass Investment Group our major source of income. Let's imagine this. We all work for the LeadPass Investment Group, make it similar to Tesla or Amazon, and have a very successful life where we make a whole bunch of money. Myself, I work my entire life only at the LeadPass Investment Group and collect a salary from them that is similar to Adam's and Luke's. Luke, on the other hand, he does the same thing as I do. We work at LeadPass Investment Group the entire time. However, Adam, he has a midlife crisis at the age of 30 and decides to travel to Thailand and Southeast Asia to explore and find himself. So he doesn't work that much and doesn't make as much money in return. Luke, on the other hand, he also funds a new company and makes some more money off of that. Now, one of the things that we have to remember, every time you receive a paycheck, you have a little amount that is deducted from your total pay. That is used for a whole bunch of different reasons, but one of them is paying towards your pension. Now, the pension money is there to supply you money to keep up your lifestyle after you've retired. This money, obviously, we cannot touch because otherwise I'd be already sitting on a whole bunch of money that I would have spent on other stupid stuff. So this money is locked away. And if you think about where this money is, it's not with the LeadPass Investment Group that, by the way, have a sick office just like this one. Obviously, 5 years from now, that's what we're going to have. The money that we have, they didn't pay us that, but they don't keep it either. The LeadPass Investment Group will transfer this money directly to a pension fund. So they don't own the money. They can't do anything with it. This is really managed by the pension fund. A pension fund is an instrument that invests our pension money at very, very low risk. They can't afford to lose our money. Because if you think about it, if I'm 60 and I retire, or 65 or 67, wherever you are in the world, it's different. You need that money to live. So you can't afford the people that manage this money to have risky business going on and losing any of your money. So they really have to diversify their portfolio. If you want to learn more about that, look at Gabriel's presentation. But they mitigate risk a lot. The only goal that they have is over the long term, growing your money more than inflation. So by the end of the time that you're working, you have more money than you've actually saved. And the money is actually also worth more. Now, how do they do that? Usually pension funds invest in 5 different types of investment opportunities, one of them being bonds, stocks, private equity. Private equity is investment opportunities where you invest in things that aren't publicly listed. They invest in real estate, and they invest in infrastructure. For example, train tracks are something that is very safe because nobody's going to build a train track next to the train track because it's already there. It's just about using the existing infrastructure as well as possible. So they use all of these ways to grow your money. And obviously, they're not just growing the money that the LeadPass Investment Group gave them, but they also invest money from other companies. And this amounts to a whole bunch of money. And their job is to grow this money even further and further and further and further. Now, one of the things that you have to bear in mind at this point is anyone that is in the investment world or people that have a lot of money are very attractive. So people will want to work with pension funds a lot because they have all of this money available. Also, interestingly, something that you have to think about, especially for our Greek colleagues, they'll know this. If there's a major crisis, for example, when Greece went down the drain, the state actually went to pension funds and took away their money because all this money was sitting in a bank account and they needed it to revamp the entire country. So this is something that is just an interesting fact. These pension funds have significant impact on what is actually going on in the world. Now, back to us. If I look at my life, I've had a normal income coming in every day. Luke has been working more, and he has earned more money because of his second business. Adam has earned less. Because he had his 10-year stint in Southeast Asia. Now, eventually, we're going to pass away. I'm a very stressed out guy, so I don't expect to live that long. I also do a whole bunch of weird stuff. Ilya can attest to that my life might not be as long as Adam and Luke's. Luke, he's working 2 jobs, so he's very stressed out. So he also might not last as long. But Adam, because he tended to himself and found himself in Southeast Asia, he's going to live the longest, which means that he's going to profit from the pension the most. So he's possibly going to be able to spend the money that he's saved, whereas myself and Luke won't be able to do that. But moving on, let's be a bit more optimistic and not talk about death. We are young men. Myself, I've already lost my hair and I have a bulging vein coming out of my forehead right here. But Luke and Adam, they look fantastic. I mean, Adam could sign up at Abercrombie and Fitch and just take away all the business from the other competitors. But anyways, I'm giving you this presentation on pensions, so I know how important it is. I won't just use the pension that I have from my employment at LeadPass Investment Group, but I'm going to start investing in a private pension now. Luke, he's a smart guy. He thinks about a lot of stuff. He's going to do the same thing, but he's not going to invest as much money. Adam, as we know, in 10 years' time, he's going to have a major midlife crisis, so he's not really thinking about money at all. He has other stuff on his mind. For example's sake, I'm going to be investing $20 a month. Luke is going to be doing the same thing with only $10 a month. Now, if we look at this over a long period of time, I will be saving up with $20 a month, $240 a year. Luke has $120 that he saves a year, and Adam is not saving anything. In 20 years' time, so 240 times 20, that's $4,800 that I will have saved by the time I'm 40. By the time I'm 40, I will also look like The Rock because I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to get a whole bunch of Maury tattoos, so I'm just warning you about this now. Luke will have saved half, $2,400. He will also be a beard model with tattoos on his hands and look really, really cool. Now, if we look even further into the future, by the time I retire at 65, I will have $9,600 on my bank account just by putting away $20 a month. Luke will have $4,800. Now, why would I invest this amount of money if I could spend it on a restaurant or taking my girlfriend out for dinner? Well, interestingly, we all obviously earn interest. So the pension fund is responsible for making money out of the money that we give them. And we're looking at a very low return rate. So that could be something like 2%. 2% of 240, we're looking at $260 a year. So I'm really saving $243, not just 240. Luke, similarly, is saving $130. Now, this amount of money doesn't really sound like it's very much, but we have to consider that this money gets reinvested with the 240 of the following year. So you have what is called compounded growth. So the money is reinvested that you've actually made from your investment. So it keeps growing and growing and growing. If you look at this, the same return rate of 2% in 20 years, I will have made an extra $1,100. Luke will have made $500 extra bucks, approximately a little more or less. Now in 20 years' time, or in 40 years' time, sorry, this money, the same rate of growth isn't applicable. So over 20 years more, I will have gained $5,000 on my initial investment, which is a fantastic number. That's 50% gain. Luke, very similarly, has 50% gain and has a total of $7,300. Now, if we look at a high return rate, something very similar to the market where you can expect about 7%, we're looking at, in 20 years' time, more than doubling my money. Similarly to Luke. So you're doubling your money in 20 years. Over 40 years, you're almost quadrupling your money. So just by putting away those 20 bucks, I can expect something like 50,000 out of just saving 10,000 because I'm reinvesting that money. The same thing with Luke. He has 5 times more than he actually put away just because of the compound growth that we have. Now, Adam, when he comes back from his 10-year stint in Southeast Asia, he looks a bit funny, but he realizes that we have this great stuff going on. He decides, you know what, I'm going to be putting away money as well. I'm going to be putting away 30 bucks a month. Now, 30 bucks a month will amount to a total of 7,200 over 20 years, and he will have saved an additional 1,800 bucks. Now, if you compare that to what Luke has earned, yes, maybe the total amount is higher, but Luke put away way less money to earn more. And the same happens with Adam, especially if you look at the 20 years. Luke has even made more money by putting away near arguably one third less. It has almost double as much money because of the compound growth. So this is why it's really important for you guys to start thinking about investing in very small amounts into something like a pension, because over time, the money amounts and it grows more. And that's why we say you need money to make money. But considering that the money that you put in, even if it's very small amounts, it grows your pocket money that you have at the end of your life or whenever you want to use it significantly. Does anyone have any questions?